Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for coming.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
My name's Heidi Harrington.
Mm-hmm.
So we're currently in New Haven.
And so you grew up, I saw in London, right? Or in England?
Yes, yeah. So I grew up in a suburb just north of London.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like probably the equivalent of New Jersey to New York.
When did you come over to America and what brought you here?
Meeting, that's funny actually. There's a little story behind that, and that I was living in England, and I did a scholarship in Spain after I finished my degree, my BA art degree. Went straight to Spain, did a copying scholarship.
That's awesome.
Honestly, travel is the best thing, especially when you're young and you're not held down by anything like family or still try. But just going off on my own to Spain and making these copies. Like I actually was given money by the Royal Academy in London to go and make copies of chosen artists, and I chose Velasquez as my main. So I was able to go and make copies, and I was able to shut down the room on a Monday when it's closed, when it's shut down, and asked them to put on in my broken Spanish like La Luz, Les Maninas. So I'd have like this most amazing Velasquez painting, and I'd go in and be able to copy it.
So you were paid to make the copies. Was this for like through the school, or like what's the purpose of making the copies of the things?
Just the generosity of the Royal Academy to promote figurative painters to go and
really cool.
Keep sort of
just
their inspiration up, I suppose. Yeah, study abroad. It was wonderful. So of course I stretched it, did a little portrait commission, which was a lot of money then for me. But living on a sort of shoestring, wonderful. I could go on about Spain, but that's where I met a fellow artist who really is the reason I'm here, through a connection. And you were asking like, how did I end up in America?
Yeah.
Well, so one of his friends that they invited me on a barge landscape painting trip, and barge boat in the south of France, and they wanted an English person to come because his wife he met in Madrid too was English. So I came along to that. They paid me to come, which is very nice of them.
That's very cool.
Dean Fisher and Joe Robinson. Yeah.
Nice.
And so on that trip, my next door neighbour now, Frank, this is Frank, he invited another friend, and he teaches there for 1 week, and then he has a 1 week where he has friends he paints with. Yeah. So I was in that week, and so the other person he invited, he was at art college with, and that ended up being my husband. Oh, nice. Yeah. So it was a really romantic, lovely meeting, and
That's very cool.
Yeah, didn't stay together in the end, but that happens. Two wonderful kids.
While you were also like in England, I saw that you did a series of like British comedians, right?
Yes.
How did you go about like having them to sit for you, and like how did that all come about? That's so cool.
Good question, because that was I started doing after I left college, came back from Spain, and actually I was in the band for a while, but that was just a couple of years, maybe 1 year, maybe. I started doing portrait commissions when I moved to London, and it was mostly of children, families, just their children, and I got into like this groove of like, well, this is going to keep going like this. It's just like, and a child can have it too. It's just that it's kind of hard, it's rare, and also they can't do it from life as much. But just little things that here I am looking at you. Yeah. But just like expressions that people have that have worn over time that. It's like muscle actions that repeat themselves.
Interesting.
Really.
Yeah.
And so that happens. And I chose comedians as a group of people to paint. Yeah. Because they are just these intelligent, interesting people. Some talked to mostly really nice people. And that was a theme, Yeah. And I was dating a comedian at the time. And so it started with like a friend of his. And it sort of got more and more through word of mouth. Yeah. Well-known people, and it's partly a portfolio thing, so that I would do like at least one famous sitter, and I did quite a few famous sitters. It was a really good thing because they kindly sat for me, without having their whole family as a portrait, which would be the traditional ask, wouldn't it? But, so I think they're quite happy to do it to help me have an exhibition at the end of it, and helping this youngish artist. But though I did it over the space of probably 10 years, I think.
Oh wow!
I know, yeah.
That's really cool.
It was a great project.
Yeah.
And it ended up with there's a few, but Terry Jones from Monty Python.
I saw that
cherry on the top.
Beautiful.
Funny enough, I called the exhibition "Stand Up Sitting," and because it was like had to be a sitting from life. From life was very important because this mission to get away from just photograph children. Although the children did sit, but
It can't sit that long.
It was just difficult.
I can imagine.
Crowd control as well. So stand-up sitting had to have some sittings. That was the point of it. But Terry Jones was an exception to the rule because, like, he's a busy man, and who am I coming along for this practically just an hour and change of time in his house?
Oh wow! So then you took a picture and worked the rest off that.
Yes, so I took pictures upstairs in his office, and he was writing at the time a book about. He was doing a TV program about Chaucer.
Okay.
So he was quite sort of like the intellectual in his office with his, like, he had a white shirt and black trousers and handsome man with all these books. Yeah. And then at the end of it, he went, "What will that do?" After I took some photographs, and I went, "Don't suppose you've got a piano?" And so he looked at me and went, and I went, "Oh yes, that's it." He looked at me and just went like, "Okay, follow me, go downstairs." So we did a second photo session
down there
of him playing the piano.
That's so fun.
He put spam, spam, spam up and just started playing that. I ran out of film because this is that long ago that I didn't have this amazing thing you can do now with your phone. So I had two cameras. I had an automatic, smaller one, and then I had my SLR kind of like bigger one, and I ran out of film, I remember, because I'd taken so many photos upstairs, and then I was like, okay, out of the SLR, and I had to do like I was sort of backed up against the window, and I had to do like a top half and a bottom half and match them together. We were taking photographs. He was playing spam, 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 and then I said, do you mind taking off your jacket? So like it's like I can see your white top with your black trousers, so it echoes the piano keys. Yeah. And he gave me this look, and I thought, oh no. I've overstepped. And he was contemplating, and just went like, let's do this properly. Why don't I take all my clothes off? I'll go and get a tie and you can choose a colour. And so off he went, came back naked, or just stripped off in front of me. And then we chose a tie. I'm like, yes, please. This is great.
That's awesome.
It wasn't like I was planning it, but of course in the back of my head I was thinking, wouldn't that be great? Yeah. The Naked Organist is famous for that.
So was that like kind of, you said that series took you like 10 years to complete.
Probably about that. Yeah.
About 10 years. Was that kind of the last series that you did?
Yeah, I haven't done another series. Just friends.
And
Open Sketch. I go to Open Sketch a lot.
Oh, nice.
And, paint people there.
Yeah.
And then people that I get to sit.
Nice. Yeah. When you're working on commissions, how do you do they come to you? Is it word of mouth? Do you advertise yourself? Like, how does that process of finding commissions work?
Well, now it's sort of like, obviously Instagram is extremely helpful now. And having that show in Ridgefield was a relaunch, because I suppose you could say it wasn't a break, because I was still going to the studio and painting, but having kids my oldest is 21 now. So that really did, I couldn't do the business side so much, because you can't just suddenly get up and travel to someone or whatever as easily. But now they're older and both in college, it's a relaunch. Yeah. So that's awesome. Now the last couple, just painted the architect in Westport, Klaus Kretschmann. And so he was through, because I teach at Silvermine School of Art, through a connection there, and he came to my class, and he knew that I wanted portrait commissions. Yeah. So he was, I suppose, in a way helping me out, but he wanted to, he had a bit of a health scare, and I think, it's nice to have something that his kids and his grandchildren can have of him. Yeah. And I think I did a good job.
I saw that on your Instagram. It looked beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, he did get the architectural background. Sort of, he designed his whole house himself.
That's
it's
so
really
cool.
Amazing. Yeah. But so that, for those sort of commissions as well, I'm trying to also restart and for Maeve, by starting from life on a canvas that I love. Like I love this Belgian linen that I prime, size everything myself, mid-tone to look the colour of the linen. If I can start off the person from life, I'm doing what I love when I paint people I know. Yeah. So I want to start like that, and then there's a photo backup. Because you're a little bit nerve-wracking a little bit at first when you're doing it as a commission. It's almost a bit more nerve-wracking than doing an open sketch and just painting someone. It wouldn't matter if they didn't really look like them. Yeah. But you're just looking for those exciting nuances of expression and moments in time you can capture. But if you can start like that and then have the photographs to back it up, like I think her hair came in with the photographs mostly, and then just to re-look and go like, okay, what was the thing that wasn't quite her, Yeah. So it's like that, and backgrounds. To be like,
that's more of the photography part.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yeah, definitely.
You've been doing portrait painting pretty much your entire career as an artist, right?
If you include the comedians, yes.
Yeah.
I want to get back into landscape painting.
That's really cool.
And still life. You know, kids in college, this is possible. I just went on a landscape painting trip to Vermont for just a couple of days.
Oh, nice.
And I'd like more of those.
What originally drew you to portrait painting, do you think?
Well, I always painted people. Like I think from word go, like my mum and dad, it was an era of where they didn't, like parents nowadays, including me, always have like an agenda and always busy and always going out and always doing things like for the kids sort of thing. My mum and dad were very much of the era where they didn't have phones and they were just like reading papers and they sat around reading quite a lot. So I started drawing them. When I got into drawing, I thought like, well, there's a subject. I drew them. Yeah. I think it's some of my best stuff. These are childhood drawings, but I love these.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wait, those are so cool.
So like they're clumsy, but I love.
No, but there's like a character to it.
Oh, there's my brother.
Yeah.
I look back and go, wow,
whoa,
I want a bit of that. Not, don't worry about it looking perfect.
Yeah.
Which actually, I'm very. I don't know if it shows in my paintings, but I'm quite sort of like anti photographic realism.
Oh,
it's very sort of like I find it it's a skill and it's a wonder, but it's the mind. The dots are already joined for you. It's like, do you know what I mean? It's like
you want to have a little bit more of yourself into your.
It's like poetry. Poetry. You don't have it spelled out. You have little mysteries that you unravel. Yeah. So that's what I think I would like. I like in a painting, something where you're looking for the audience to join the dots. It's actually just an excuse not to finish them. No, I'm joking. Yeah. No, but there's a point when it's like good to leave. When you find something, you've discovered something, and it looks like you've discovered something. Yeah. That's the bit to leave. Yeah. That's the bit that I enjoy. I get excited about.
So you had mentioned that you were in a band when you were in London, right? Yeah. You were a drummer, right?
I was in Newcastle because I was at college in the north of England. And it was after I finished my degree and after I got back. It was in the last year. Yeah, I used to go to the music practice rooms because I just started playing the drums in the last year of high school. Oh, nice. And in an all-male band called the Wild Washerwomen. And we're doing covers of like Under My Thumb after like 6 weeks of playing the drums on old tins and things like that. But anyway, that was fun. And then so I wanted to carry on. I had the the spirit. And so the musicians that were doing a music course there picked up on me, and everyone needs a drummer. Yeah. And female drummer was probably exciting, and so this band got together. Yeah, there's a singer that was absolutely had a most gorgeous voice. I don't know, and I'm in such admiration of people who can come in and just bring a song, and I just like, where did that come from? And it's immediately a hit in your head. You're going like, how did you write that? Yeah. That's amazing. So that was Brina Corrigan. She's in a lot of my paintings. She became a really good friend. We band called the Antill Runaways. That's awesome. So we spent a year after I got back from Spain. They had a temporary drummer and came back, and we did another year on something called Enterprise Allowance, where you can have your own business. I was a music artist. That's cool. But it was really a wonderful year of just going a little bit of touring, but having a rehearsal space and a management of a great venue in Newcastle called the Riverside. Yeah, wonderful times.
Awesome. Did your time like playing in this band as a drummer, do you think that impacted your art practice? Like did it influence your paintings in any way, do you think?
No, not really. I think it was time off a bit, actually.
Okay.
I think it
was more of like a release.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was like that was an intense year, and I was so in the swing from the BA art that the degree that I, you still had that art, and I was always going to cafe sketching. Lots of cafe sketching. I kept on doing that, so I kept it up. But then I must admit that when I finished the drumming and I wasn't painting as much. I remember when I was in London, I did go out with a boyfriend, and I hadn't painted for a while, and he was my drum teacher for a while. I hadn't painted for a while, and then when I did paint, I did one of my favourite paintings still to this day. I actually did it sitting on his lap. I just like and he had such an intense look that I just wanted to paint it. And so I just like sat on his lap, had the palette here, and just like painted him.
That's so cool.
But I just feel like, sometimes that gap actually, a lot of people say like, you've got to paint and draw every day.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you already have the facility, then actually having the gap and then wanting to do it so much. I think so much of it is about inspiration that I just felt like hungry for it.
Yeah.
So that hunger was good. Whereas it's quite easy to get into a habit where you're not, just doing it. Which I don't feel now. Now I'm back into my little hunger period again, But, it's very easy to, I think if I'd carried on doing just children portraits, I probably would have, it's jobby job.
Yeah. It feels less fun and more just something you had to do. I get that.
It's a balance though, isn't it?
It is a
It's
balance.
quite nice doing the, your other job, my other jobs, teaching as well, meeting people, and then you kind of feel like energized in a different way.
Yeah.
And that break makes you want to go and do your thing more.
Exactly.
It's like if you want something done, ask a busy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great segue. How do you balance, your other job, your painting, family life? Like it's a lot to juggle. How are you able to kind of keep everything balanced?
Thanks for realizing that. Yes, I'm a pretty committed parent. As in, like, I still, even though they're in college, I still think about, have you done this? Have you done that? Like, what about this opportunity and all that kind of thing. Yeah, and it really it keeps going. But how do I balance it? I'm trying to think, like, there's nothing. It's just what's normal, but I feel slightly luckier.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's like everyone has their busy life. Yeah, and many other things apart from the thing they really want to. They're inspired to do. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. In the next 5 or 10 years, do you have any goals for where you want to be painting wise? Are there projects or certain paintings that you want to get done or something?
Yes, I've had that conversation with myself, definitely. And as you may have noticed, and as you might, I don't know if you saw the Ridgeford exhibition as well in the library, but there's a lot of head and shoulders, head and shoulders, head and shoulders. And I said to myself, like, I really should do more full body, whatever. And actually, life is short. And I did go well, I know what I want from portraiture. And so my goal is to not waste time doing things I don't want to do. Yeah. And actually, just if head and shoulders is what I want to do, to be honest. I mean, this is for me, not for portrait commissions, because that's, it can be more head and shouldering. I'm hoping more for the oil sketchy kind of base. But I just think I want to keep developing find the alchemy that makes something elevated for me, that I go I've got it in that one. Only about 1 in 5 I'm vaguely pleased with the painting that I'll do. So it's if I can get that to be, if I can find that, even 1 in 20, I'll be that's the goal. Okay. To keep that going and find the nitty gritty. Yeah. And I think the momentum, having some time to do that is what I'd want. And of course, if I find a poetry that makes me unique, more unique, then more people would want that. Yeah. So and then I think I know enough people now that appreciate that kind of thing, but it could still be a paid portrait commission. Yeah. There's a lot of nice people around that support that and
That's
that.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Alchemy that you're talking about, when you're trying to find that special thing in each subject and each painting, is that I noticed in your paintings, they're very colorful. You're able to work a lot of different tones into the skin, which I think is really impressive and very cool to look at. Is that how do you, is it in the anatomy of the face? Is it in the colors that you use? Is it a mix of both? Is it something else?
I'm blown away by the fact that you think they're colorful, because in America, a lot of people like very bright colors. Yeah. In England too, but a lot of people also say oh, you're very grey toned. I know you like very grey, but there's color. Color works with whatever color's next to it. Yeah. So your appreciation of that's thank you for that. Of course. It's I love seeing a grey toned, muted color next to another muted color, makes that color heighten in some way. It just does. There's a reaction. There's a sequence of reactions when you have different colors next to each other. So yes, having a slightly heightened grey tone color next to perhaps a more neutral tone, neutral color would be would make that exciting for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, then that feels more colourful.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's yeah.
Interesting.
It's just so funny because it's always on this kind of dirgy. I call it dirgy, even though to take the mickey out of myself. But it's like Payne's grey, yellow ochre, bluish tone, so that the greys actually, you know, the muted will come out more. Yeah, like on a blue, not like an orange against a blue, or red against a green. Sort of.
It's complementary.
Yeah.
Very
it's funny you say this is such a grey, and this is like the grey background with the. But then
But like even in his hair, like there's so many like blues and purples that like pop out so much. It's awesome.
I love painters like it's coming up in February actually in the British Museum here, Centre for British Art. Gwen John.
Gwen John?
Yeah, Gwen John. I'll show you a
okay,
later. But she's she's one hero amongst a few. But like Morandi is another one. But they're ones I just look at and go like, what is the alchemy? What makes that happen? What makes that work? These grey tones next to each other, muted tones, I should say. Grey has a nice connotation for me.
Yeah.
But maybe a lot of people think grey is grey.
But
I mean, it's colourful, muted, lovely neutral colours.
The way that you work here, is that what you got from painters like Gwen and these other painters that you looked at? Or is it just kind of like how you naturally work? How did you find that process?
Because I think naturally, because I don't think I really was looking. First paintings were like similar, and they're actually on a brightly coloured ground, like a red, transparent red oxide-y sort of colour. But so I don't know how I did that. So that varied. But I think early influences were like Rembrandt and Velázquez. So if you think they're actually really quite minimal palettes, they are those similar tones. It's rare you get like a variety of bright colours. So I think it was just really from that traditional base.
Okay.
And then I discovered Gwen John in the Barbican in an exhibition, just like it nearly brought tears to my eyes. It was just like, these are just gems, like they're gorgeous. When you see any artwork that makes you go like, wow, that's influenced me. It could be writing, it could be comic art. It could be anything. You just go like, that really, I'm inspired.
Yeah.
As well as fellow artists, like it's nice, like the people I met in Spain and know here now, carry on being painterly painters.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah, and feeding off each other's energy and.
Yes, I'd say we're all glad we exist.
Yeah.
In Connecticut, it's very good.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I do have one more question to end this off. Yeah. If you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
That's a really good question. I think it's to not waste time. I mean, I wasn't wasting time, and it still brings me to who I am now.
Yeah.
But I wish, I was the only person really pushing myself. I don't think my art college was great for the teachers weren't very pushy for that, but the environment was.
Yeah.
And then the fellow artists as I went along were. I mean, I look back and I go like, I did do a lot. There was a lot of push. Yeah. But I still feel like I wish I was just a bit more, I'd done a bit more, really getting the studios and having more of a work ethic.